I'm not a fan of that. Hey, no. That's totally and completely the wrong way. Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day, and check us out now. That crazy nut in the beginning of the video, he went about this sprayer thing the wrong way. Let me show you the right way to do it. Alright, so here's a new sprayer. I want to throw in a mix in the lineup. Now, the 2 gallon sprayers plus that we were kind of pushing a little bit last year, you saw me use, I still use them. Nothing in the world wrong with it. You don't have to get rid of that one and buy this one. You keep using the one you got. There's just a little bit of difference in the pumps and the seal and the internal components. It's not a lot of difference in it, so don't wig out. This is just a new one I want to carry. So this right here is a YT25E. Sprayers Plus makes it. It's 2 gallons. And like I said a little bit ago, that nut in the beginning of the movie went about this the wrong way. So let me show you how to set this up. Obviously, you want to unbox it first and get your stuff out. And you're going to come with this little packet right here, this little box in this sprayer. And here's the battery, okay? Battery fits in the battery charger like that. You plug this up in the end down here. You plug it up in the wall. You want to full charge the battery before you go playing with this thing. All right, so you get a little packet right here. Here's your little cap that'll hold the nozzle. Comes with a yellow and a blue nozzle. And basically, this thing right here pops up in there like this. And then you put the washer in behind it, like so. And then that would screw on the end of the wand. Now they also come with this little adjustable tip that you can adjust down to a stream or to a fine mist. It sprays in like a shape of a cone. I personally do not like those, and I do not use them. So you can see right here how that screws on. So if your handle is facing this way, straight up and down, you want to make sure that your fan tip is screwed on in a way that sprays side to side, not with the wand, but against the wand. At the beginning of the video, you saw me pull this little part out. This is an elbow filter that kind of goes in the bottom of the tank that hooks into where the pump goes in, goes down. This sits right off the bottom in a little square cutout and sucks up the material. I personally do not use these. All right, so check this out. Military Police, my buddy Mr. Perry, sent me one of these shirts, and I just wanted to wear it and say thank you to all the military police that serve our country and serve and protect. And kind of got a little thing. I'll put the address down in the description. If you want to send a law enforcement t-shirt, a military t-shirt, or anything like that that represents your hometown or your branch or your group of law enforcement, by all means send it to me. I wear a XXL. You might want to send a XXX. This is a XXX. It's a little bit snug, so if you got a XXX, send it to that address and I'll wear it in your video just to show you a little love and respect. Okay, so you can't just take these things, put some water, put some product in it, and go out and spray. Okay, there's a thing called calibration, and you have to calibrate a sprayer before you use it. Now, why is calibration important? It's extremely important because it really doesn't matter if you were spraying water, because calibration wouldn't mean anything. Well, in lawn care, we're spraying products and chemicals and fungicides and fertilizers and all kind of different things called products. And on this label right here, that's kind of the Bible to this particular product. It tells how much you can put down on different types of grass. Okay, if you don't follow that label, if you don't do that, then you take chance in one or two things. Either you're not going to get the result, or you're going to damage your turf. Okay, and nobody wants that to happen. So from a business owner point of view, calibration is super important. You got to calibrate your equipment, okay? In the long, especially when you're talking about treating hundreds of acres of turf, man, if you're off just a little bit on this machine or that sprayer or this whatever, man, it can cost you a lot of money down the road, a lot of money. Not to mention poor results, or you could just damage somebody's yard. We don't want that, right? All right, so I'm gonna show you 2 quick ways to calibrate one of these sprayers. And of course, you could probably use this for just about any sprayer you wanted to, but I got this one in front of me, so let's use this one. All right, so there's 3 main things that must be consistent in order to calibrate a sprayer. Number 1 is the output of this sprayer, okay? And that's kind of, with this particular sprayer, that's defined by the pressure. You know, it has a battery powered pump. The pump is a certain size. That's not going to change. The only thing that would change the pressure is if your pump got really weak or the battery got really weak. So make sure you keep your battery charged up good. Okay, your pressure is going to be consistent with this unless you have failure in the pump or the battery. Or maybe you get a clog. You know, these things right here come with a filter. These things come with a screw-in filter. This just screws in, screws out, and here's your filter that cleans up the material before it goes through the spray tip, okay? Now, if this gets clogged up, that could change your pressure as well, because we need the same flow coming through here. So always make sure to keep that filter clean. If something happens to get past the filter and gets caught in the spray tip, that can affect your pressure, not to mention your spray pattern. So make sure you always keep your tip clean. All right, so that's the first thing, the pressure, volume, the amount of stuff coming out of the end of this tip, however you want to say that, has to be consistent. If that goes up or down, it changes your calibration. Second thing is your spray width, meaning how wide of an area are you spraying with the spray tip. That has to be consistent. If it's not, if one time you're spraying 5 foot wide and the next time you're spraying 3 foot wide and the next time you're spraying 4 foot wide, whatever the case may be, if that width changes, your calibration changes. So how do I maintain a consistent spray width? Well, with a fan tip, that's pretty easy to do, because the height in which you hold this off the ground determines the width. Let me show you. If I hold this thing down close to the ground, cut my pump on. So I've got my pump on. If I hold it close to the ground, you can see that's a narrow width. That's only about 6 inches. If I hold it up higher off the ground, you can see I'm out here about 2 foot now. So your height directly relates to the width. If you hold the spray tip lower to the ground, it's going to spray a more narrow pattern. You hold it higher, it's going to spray a wider pattern. All right, so the third thing that must be consistent in calibration is your speed. Now, if you're using a machine to spray, that's really, really easy. Super easy, because most of the machines have set speeds, like a permagreen. You hold the throttle wide open, it goes a certain speed, it won't go any faster. The only way you would change the calibration is if you let off the throttle and slow the machine down, which most of the time an experienced operator isn't going to do that. So with a battery powered sprayer, I am the machine that creates the speed, and you do that by walking. So you need to be able to train yourself, muscle memory, to be able to walk at the same speed every time you spray. So does that take a lot of practice? Well, you dang right it does. I've been doing it for a very long time, and I still get off from time to time. But I'm always making a mental note when I'm spraying, when I'm walking with one of these backpack sprayers or one of these handheld sprayers that are battery powered, I'm always trying to be focused on my speed. All right, so now we know your pressure on your pump, or the output of your pump, has to be consistent. Your width has to be consistent. and your speed has to be consistent in order to calibrate any sprayer correctly. All right, so before you get dialed into calibrating this, make sure your battery's charged. Gonna put you some water in there. You can just fill it up, put you a gallon, gallon and a half, whatever you're comfortable with. I put at least 1 gallon in it, because you would probably want to do this a couple of times just to make sure you're accurate. You're gonna wanna unscrew this right here. Turn your pump on. That will bleed the air out of the line. The majority of sprayers I've used in my day, which has been quite a few of them, when your tanks sit over a period of time without liquid in them, air gets in this line. Okay, well, you have to push that air out, and you use that with water. So you want to crack this up, crack this open, push the air out till you get the water, screw it back on, and you're ready. All right, so that's a little over 2 feet. So I'm gonna hold it a little bit lower because I want to get it at 2 feet just to make my math easier. All right, that's more like it. So I'm about 9 or 10 inches off the ground roughly, which lets me spray about 2 foot wide. All right, so this first calibration I'm going to do is called personal pace, meaning you spray at your own pace and we'll let the sprayer do all the work. So to start, I'm going to hold this thing about 9 or 10 inches off the ground, the spray tip, and I'm going to walk at a consistent speed, the speed in which I want to walk at, and then we're going to do some simple math and see how much product or see how much water we spray out over this 200 square foot area. Now, this is very important. You need to time yourself from start to finish to see how long it takes you to put this product out or put this water out over this 200 square foot. Now, you'll notice when I get down to the end, I'm going to stop spraying, but I'm also going to cut the stopwatch off, turn around and come back and keep repeating that process. All right, so you can see I covered that 200 square feet at a pretty consistent pace in 1 minute and 11 seconds. Kind of slow. You could walk a little faster if you want to. That was just my personal pace. Okay, you need a measuring cup for the next step. All right, so for the next step, I'm gonna spray the material out. I keep saying material, but it's water. I'm gonna spray the water out, and I'm going to retime it, and I'm going to stop spraying at 1 minute and 11 seconds. There we go. All right, so you can see I've got right at 40 ounces of water in 1 minute and 11 seconds. All right, so since we're dealing with 200 square foot, but I want to find out what it equals to 1,000 square feet, I'm going to take that 40, multiply it times 5, I get 200 ounces. That means I would put 200 ounces on 1,000 square feet if I walked that exact same pace and if I held that spray tip the exact same height off the ground. Now, to figure out what the gallons are, you divide it by 128 ounces in a gallon. So I'm right at 1.5 gallons per 1,000 square feet. So let's just say, for example, we were using 5 ounces of this product. We would subtract that from the water. And let's say we were using 15 ounces of another product. We would subtract that. So that would leave you with 180 ounces of water, and plus the 5 ounces and plus the other 15 ounces of whatever the product is. So the combined total would give me that 200 ounces. And then I spray that over the 1,000 square feet. Then I put that product down accurately over that area. Now, if you want to get this thing dialed in to where it's spraying 1 gallon per 1,000 square feet, it's totally simple. Keep everything the same that you've watched in this video. The sprayer height, right? Keep your height of the tip the same. Your pressure isn't going to change because that's a pump and a battery, and as long as you keep it charged up, none of that's going to change unless you get a clog or something. But you just walk a little faster. If it took us 111 seconds to put out 200 ounces, you could walk a little faster so your time would be less, so that you would put out 128 ounces on that same area. Now, what I showed you here was a 200 square foot area, and we did a little simple math to convert that into 1,000 square feet. If you have 1,000 square foot area, by all means measure it out and use that area. You don't have to do it this exact way using 200 square feet. Personally, if you're, I prefer personally, if you're a newbie or beginner, that you actually measure out a 1,000 square foot area, because visually you need to get a picture of 1,000 square foot in your mind, so that when you're in your yard and you have a gallon of product, you can kind of visualize what 1,000 square foot looks like, and you can feel the weight of your sprayer, you can feel the product leaving and going down. It'll just give you a good idea that you're on the right track. All right, so there you go. Thank you for watching, and that's kind of my take on just basic, bare bones sprayer calibration. Nothing special, no nozzle assemblies, none of that. Just basic calibration, so that the first time guy, the newbie or whatever, you'll get a real good idea. There's a couple of different ways you can calibrate it, and you can take this information, use it in your yard, and hopefully you get some great results. So I'm gonna burn out. I got some weeds to spray in the yard right now, and I'll start videoing that one. And so be looking for that video, subscribe, all that cool stuff, and we will check you later.